Zoom zoom makes you go boom boom. Well, those were at least the wise words of that Razor kid with 2 Ds, aka Brad, to me at the New York City Sur-Ron Mega Ride. So Brad is a fellow Razor stunter. He's got the Maguras on his bike. He recommended them highly over the Zoom brakes just because they're gonna have better grip and hopefully stop me from looping as much. Now, since I'm trying to get nice at these wheelies, eventually get on the level of doing like hand drags and whatnot, hopefully, I figured I would go ahead and upgrade. So today we're installing the Magura MT-5s. This is a very high-end mountain bike brake that's popular among Sur-Ron riders. Now these will replace the Zoom hydraulic brakes that I had on. Honestly, I didn't have too many problems with the Zoom hydraulic brakes, but I did go through pads super quickly. Now apparently these pads last a lot longer and they're better, so they should save me from looping, which in hindsight has happened a couple times off camera with these Zoom brakes. All right, and super simple, this is where zip ties would be helpful, but we're just gonna route this down through the bike. You're gonna have some excess wire because these are meant for mountain bikes. Obviously much larger frames than these Razors. So just keep that in mind. I'm probably gonna tuck it under the fairings, the plastics, whatever you wanna call it. All right, so I can only find one zip tie right now, but we looped everything under here. Now I'm just gonna zip tie this loop down. Like I said, you'll need the brackets that move the caliper back just a little bit. If you have the Zoom hydraulic brakes, you'll already have those brackets. If you don't have that and you're just buying these Magura MT-5 brakes up front instead of even getting the Zooms, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get the brackets so it'll work with the larger discs here.
When you pull the bars, like the handle in, is it hard or is it like mushy?
It's mushy, like it's almost like when you're like running out of pads, like it doesn't actually pull till like halfway down. So guys, as you can tell, pretty simple install here. We've got the Magura brakes on. Now like I said, the cable is a little bit long, so I have it looped and just zip tied under here. I do need another zip tie just so I can secure this right here. So I gotta find one. I think the cat stole it, but yeah, it feels pretty good off the bat. Install is obviously super easy. You literally just screw it in here, thread it through, screw it in there, and then it's good to go. These come pre-bled, so you technically don't have to bleed them. I was just talking with Brad. He said some people have issues with them being not bled correctly, but these seem fine. So we're gonna go out, see how they feel. So I will see you on the GoPro in 3, 2, 1. Whew, before we ride, we gotta get downstairs, and that means the elevator. All right, guys, so first impressions, it definitely feels a lot mushier than the Zoom brakes. Like with the Zoom brakes, when you have all the pads, it'll stop like right there. On these brakes, it is not like that. I think it's because these are a little bit more similar to like an actual motorcycle brake. It's still a mountain bike brake, obviously, but there's more modulation. You see, the thing with the Zoom brakes is they're on off. So like either you're braking with them or you just aren't. Like it's on off. With these, I think you get a little bit more feel, I guess, but it's definitely something I have to get used to. Yeah, it is definitely more sensitive. Like right there, yep. Okay, I see now. You can just way better differentiate how much your brakes that you actually want to use. Now these things cost about $120, so they're definitely not cheap. I think the Zoom brakes for both of them was like $120 or even like $100. It might have even been less, I can't remember. But these are definitely more expensive. But you're gonna get a much more quality brake. You probably won't experience brake fade nearly the same. Whew. Yeah, now we're feeling it. Now we're getting it. It is a blistering like 92 here in Philly today. Okay. Now I notice the brake pull is actually easier too, so I'm not yanking my finger, getting super sore pulling these. It's just a nice little pull, which makes me see why it might be easy to mousetrap on this. If you grab a lot of front or rear brake, you could probably easily mousetrap.
Sorry, I'm blabbering away, but we're just wheeling away too. Jeez. This feels great. Take a turn. Woo! Alright, guess we gotta try knee knockers with the new brakes too. See if they feel any better or worse. If you guys don't know, my knee knockers kind of suck, as you can tell. Excuse me. Alright. Let's see how it feels all the way back at balance point. It feels pretty dang good. It's pretty responsive. The zooms would almost fade out when you were at balance point. Let me get over for this guy. So you do have that past balance, because that was the biggest concern. Once you go past balance point on the zoom brakes, there's just nothing there. You just like almost always will just loop essentially. It's currently the day before the 4th of July, so it's very empty here in Philly. Everyone's at the beach. Everyone's at the Jersey Shore. Here is a good spot to try the circles, and let's see if we can just slow it down and go right into them. Whew. All right, there we go. Yeah, I would say it's a much better feeling with the Maguras. My only concern is that I'll really have to get used to the muscle memory of just pulling on it a little, because if you pull on it a lot, like, it'll lock up with one finger pulling on it. The zooms would not do that. This is actually a good test. Yeah, no, doesn't matter what brakes you have. You're gonna slip and slide on this shit. See, I'm really just trying to learn to trust these brakes, because where the zoom brakes just wouldn't be able to stop you at or past 12 o'clock, these do. But I just got to get comfortable with knowing that it can in fact stop me, and I don't have to worry about it nearly as much as I did like with the zooms. And you can just finesse hard, and we'll get this wheelie up to speed. Now we're riding with traffic, no problemo. Swerves. Oh. Okay guys, now after I actually really got to fully ride and test these brakes are freaking killer. They are like game changer good, so much better than the zoom brakes. I just feel so much more confident in wheelies, so this is totally gonna help me get one-handers, hand drags, knee knocks, all that. So totally recommend them.